Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, Lifestyle with Sharon, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make lovely veggie fingers. Nice vegetarian meal. And I hope you like the video and do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends on social media. And if you haven't done so already, do subscribe to the channel. It is free of charge. And if you hit the bell, it will give you that notification for when the video comes out, just to give you a gentle reminder. Right, we're just going to drain a can of chickpeas and rinse it under some water. Right, then you want about 30 grams of sugar snap peas. So just take the ends off and then chop them in half. If you haven't got a food processor, you can just chop them into tiny little bits. And then you want to grate about 50 grams of carrots. And then you want about 40 grams of broccoli, which is roughly just 2 sprigs of broccoli. And just kind of roughly chop them if you're putting them in the food processor, or chop them up really tiny if you're just mixing it up by hand. And you want about 40 grams of cauliflower, which cauliflower actually, believe it or not, is a bit heavier than broccoli. So you are using less of it. And so you want about 40 grams of leek. And then you want about 30 grams of spinach. So you pour your chickpeas into your food processor or into a large bowl if you're going to mix it by hand. And then you're going to add your carrots, your spring onions. 1 spring onion is plenty, or about 20 grams. Your sugar snap peas, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your leek, and your spinach. You put your lid on and just give that a whiz around. Then you season with some salt, a good pinch of salt, and a pinch of pepper, about a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You could put chili flakes if you wanted. It depends. If you don't want to have a spice, then don't add it. It just gives it a little bit of a kick. Now you want to add a teaspoon of nutmeg. You want a teaspoon of paprika and a teaspoon of cumin. You put 1 egg and give that a blast. And then you want to add a couple of tablespoons of tahini or peanut butter if you've not got tahini. Gives it a lovely flavour and it binds it all binds it all together as well. Right, and then we're going to add some breadcrumbs, between 60 and 70 grams of breadcrumbs. And then we'll give that another quick whiz. If you find it does get a bit sticky and it doesn't spin round very often, you might just have to kind of mix it with a spatula. So maybe just take it out at this stage and put it into a bowl. So just add this into a bowl and just give it one quick mix around with a spatula. If you wanted to, you could add a drop of lemon juice into this. That would give it a nice flavour as well. Right, so what you want to do is get about 30 grams of the mixture. Oh, that was dead on. That was a complete guess, so that was good. So 30 grams, and you just kind of bind it all together with your hand. And then you just flatten it out and then kind of make it into a finger shape. I suppose you can experiment and do different shapes, but I'm kind of making it into this kind of rectangle. And then I just place it on a plate, and then we will put that in the fridge for at least an hour, maybe 2 hours, to let it harden a little bit. So as you can see, this is me finished preparing some of the veggie fingers. Now there's a lot of mixture, So you can freeze these. You don't have to use them all in one day. So the process of this is to dip it into the flour. And it is important to make sure you leave it in the fridge for that couple of hours to make it a bit easier. Otherwise it kind of just falls apart. Dip it in the egg. It is a very messy thing, and the best way is just to get your hands in there and get stuck in. And dip it into the breadcrumbs. Make sure you're getting the edge. And kind of just give it a bit of a shake. And that is your veggie finger ready to cook. And again, if you leave this in the fridge for a good half an hour maybe before you start cooking it. It is a very messy one to make, but you know, they really taste lovely and they're so healthy. Loads of goodness in this. And they don't. So I'm going to cook these 8 veggie fingers so you can see what they look like. You can cook them in the oven if you prefer, but I'm just going to do it on the frying pan to show you. So get your pan hot with some olive oil on it. So these have been in the fridge for about half an hour once I put the breadcrumbs on. As I said earlier, you can freeze these and then you can cook them from frozen. They just take a little bit longer if you're cooking them from frozen. So after a few minutes, just gently turn them. Now because of the breadcrumbs, be aware that sometimes the oil, they might absorb the oil. So you may have to put a little bit more olive oil in. So cook them on a nice low heat so that the vegetables cook through properly. And then after about 5 minutes in each side, you can then maybe turn it up to a medium heat. Okay, so as you can see how nice these are looking. And when they've got a nice colour to them, they're basically ready. So when you know these are ready, you just take them out, put them on a bit of kitchen roll. So as you can see, these look absolutely beautiful, don't they? So lovely veggie fingers. So earlier on I cooked some new potatoes, and these new potatoes I left the skins on. I put some olive oil in the tray, and so I'm going to serve these along with the veggie fingers. So I'll just put these on some kitchen roll. So these are the potatoes that I cooked in the oven. So I'm going to show you this dished up with the veggie fingers and a bit of homemade coleslaw. And I'm just going to dish up some homemade coleslaw that I made earlier. So this is our lovely homemade coleslaw with the new potatoes done in the oven with olive oil and the veggie fingers. Thank you for watching today's video on how to make veggie fingers. I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to doing more videos for you next week.